right about the time of the 25th anniversary of the bridge. The bridge in San Francisco had been lit, had lights put on it. The community had raised money and put the lights on there. And there was, people here were saying, well, gee, why can't we do that? There was a gentleman, Marty Chavez, who was the one who actually started this, he and his wife. They put together a 25th anniversary for the bridge, which was a major event. I mean, we had Governor Pat Brown here, we had the people who designed the bridge, who built the bridge, and hundreds of people came out. And we had a great day. We even had the mayor, of course, Mayor Bradley. We even had after the luncheon, we had like a caravan of antique cars go over the bridge. So it was just a fun day. Well, when that was over, we had a surplus of about $27,000. And the decision was made, well, gee, let's use that as starter money, see if we can't raise money to light our bridge. And at that time, we still didn't really have an idea of how to do it. We were just thinking about what they did in San Francisco, just put white lights along it. Unfortunately, Marty had a heart attack and passed away. And John Olgain convinced me to take over the committee, saying, of course, well, we're almost there. We just have to raise some money, and we got the plans. 6-8 months, it'll all be done. John was good at doing that to you. So, and it ended up taking 17 years. But the reason for that is we had to go through so many hoops to get there, so many changes. At one point, Rudy Zavornich was helping, and he was able to get the bridge named the official welcoming monument for the city of Los Angeles, which allowed us to get $100,000 from a Japanese company that had been put in escrow to build a monument in LA, which was never going to be built. So that gave us a good seed money. We were figuring at that time it cost about $300,000, which it probably would have if we'd been able to do it at that time. But then the city got involved and decided, well, let's have a contest and see how to light it. And they went ahead and they hired a person who came up with this whole plan of basically illuminating the sky. They're all sky trackers that would shine up in the air and gold gilt on top and all this, really, hugely expensive. Was not what we wanted at all, but the city outvoted us, basically. They said, okay, we got the money. And about that time, there was a woman in Long Beach said, wait a minute, if you do that, you will kill birds. And we tried, to convince them what kind of birds, because it was, they said, these migratory songbirds would fly around the bridge and the lights and get confused and fall into the ocean and fall into the, I tried to point out to her that there was already huge amounts of light, number one, and number two, peregrine falcons lived on the bridge. And especially during nesting season, any bird that was dumb enough to get anywhere close to that bridge would not make it because those falcons were really protective. In fact, when we actually put the lights on, we had to stop construction during the period they were nesting because they would attack the workers. So we went through that period. We had to go to the Coastal Commission. Coastal Commission said, okay, you can't do it that way. Come back with another plan. So we spent another year, put it together. We got rid of the big sky trackers. We used, like spotlights on the bridge itself, and went back with that. And they said, well, okay, we'll like it, but we'll let you do that. By the way, we had already purchased those sky trackers. We had to turn them back to the company, but it still cost us $35,000 restocking fee. So one of the things we did was to get the last bit of money. We held a walk on the bridge, which was a huge event. There's never been one before or like it. We had like 50,000 people that day. We actually closed the entire bridge. We had In-N-Out burgers, brought their big trucks and fed the people. All kinds of events going on. And the purpose of that was not so much to raise money as to show the private, industry that there was this groundswell of support to do it. 2 days after we did that, the LA riots broke out. Well, of course, then everything went to rebuild Los Angeles. And it was sort of hard to say, well, we want to put lights on a bridge, so don't worry about rebuilding LA. So we kind of had to sit around for about 3 years until all of that had been accomplished. And then we went out again. We were all set to get going, and we had the Enron crisis, if you recall. Enron, caused a major power problem in California. We didn't have enough electricity. So the governor at that time, Davis, said, okay, there are going to be no new decorative lighting on any structure. And I got a call from Caltrans saying, well, your project is dead. We can't do it. At that point, we've been working on it for nearly 15 years, and I said, no, that's not going to happen. Not, the work had been done not just by me, but by all the people in the area that, people on the committee, people that helped us, people who had contributed. And by chance, I'd had a presentation from a company in Torrance about LEDs, these light-emitting diodes, which at that time was quite new. So I went back to them and said, okay, if we use your product like the bridge, what would it take? Well, the original plan that we were going to do was 37 megawatts of power, like that, no, 37,000 watts of power, to light the bridge per hour. The new plan, if we used nothing but that, was 3.7. We could literally light the bridge using a generator from Home Depot. So the state agreed to that because it was taking so little. Plus, thanks to Janice Hahn, who was our council at that point, she got water and power involved, and they agreed to help out by providing the power. They did a lot of design and installation work for us, and also put in solar panels on the structure on Swenson. So in effect, our bridge was the first bridge in the country that was totally lit by LEDs and powered by the sun. So we had a real plus there. And it came out, in that 2005, we finally lit the bridge, and I can't tell you what a great feeling that was.